My main purpose in life, which I'll explain shortly, is through the presentation and my talk, is to make positive impacts for kids and families affected by rare disease predominantly, but also just sick kids in general. So we'll bring you through a little bit about myself, do an introduction, and I'm always keen for more and more followers on Twitter and Facebook, so you're allowed to pick up your phones and tweet away. It's Leadership for Growth, or hashtag Lead for Growth. And this is me. Contact me now, later, 2 years time, 3 years time, see me in a ditch, pick me up. So, and we'll go through what I think helps me get through my day, every day, and how we lead, as I say, one organisation, B for Battens, which is part of the Saoirse Foundation, a charity I founded. And this is these are two children, Saoirse on the left and little Liam on the right. Well, part of Liam anyway, 2 eyes and 2 hands, and a little bit of hair. I was, prior to doing what I do now with the charity in Ireland, which I also work full-time in Oslo and around the world in LNG business. I do the charity as my hobby stroke mission for free kind of thing. I had a life-changing moment a couple of years ago. I was quite happily working as a senior manager, previous captain on a ship, sailing around the oceans looking at horizons, fantastic. And I had 2 fantastic kids. This day I'll never forget. This was my September 25th. I don't have a 9/11. I have September 25th. This was the 2 minutes after I was told she was going to die. So this is what started me to become a public leader. And she died last year, age 5. So this is part of the things that I bring forward, and I will explain my motivation. Because one of the key things I think every leader needs is motivation. And you need to self-motivate, motivate your own group, but you need to keep going. You need to stand up, take account, plan your actions, and drive on with a team behind you. You can't do it alone. You can do a lot of it yourself, but you get further with people behind you, so you have to engage them, get them on board, and get them totally aligned with what you're trying to do as a group. And you can lead them through anything, like good and bad, so you can react to bad situations, take praise, reward when there's good situations, and then from that, achieve your goals. I don't think we'll ever achieve our goals in our charity, we'll just move another one with it. I have one goal at the moment, is trying to save the lives of kids with this disease. And I've tried to do it with my own son, Liam, he has it as well, Batten Disease. I'll explain what that is shortly with a small little video. So, I have to point this or something. So this is my personal motivation. I have a small little clip. You might turn down the lights a little bit because I think it's kind of dark. And then we'll go into the main part. So my #1 goal is to stop this happening.
This is a story.
You went to sea.
A story of love.
For the day. You wanted to know
And of life.
what to say.
A life with Batten Disease.
Slowly down.
This is a true story.
To someone that he loves endlessly. Now she's gone.
Join the fight for life. And B for Battens.
That's 46 seconds of what Batten Disease does to a child. What it also is a very good way of communicating with the public and people in general. I think most people haven't written a note now in the last few seconds. There's a few people tweeting, I hope, this hashtag Lead for Growth, at B for Battens, so we'll get that in there. But what it does, you have to, in my situation, we're a social organisation, we're a charity providing positive impacts to kids and families who are living in darkness. So we have to get the support and engagement of the general public, of the business world, so that we can do what we need to do. We're not selling nothing. we're providing. So we have sometimes a bigger challenge with it than a company or other organisations which have resources. We have to create our own. And this is, we just need to be clever. And my friend made this with me. Good leaders have willing followers. I stole this via Google Images, sorry, and I've blown it all up. So that's why the quality is bad. It's only a small thumbnail, but it's quite a big thumbnail now. It just doesn't look as good. But, you know, it's true, it's already been touched on. Good leaders have willing followers. I normally go into a conversation, I probably already one or two people who have influence in their own business worlds I've met today, or anyone I meet. I will bore people to death sometimes if given the opportunity, but normally I need 2 or 3 minutes to try and make an introduction. So what I need to do is go in, impress, and all good leaders need to impress upon their own teams and impress upon people they meet very quickly without being imposing, and try and get a follower. What I'm trying to do, even now, I'm going to be recruiting today new followers. That's what we do all the time. But it's you have to get the engagement. So this looks like it's a park. You have a leader out in front, you have all the followers behind. But anyone who knows anything about geese, they're not very good quality geese, they're a bit pixelated. But that's a team. Someone takes the lead over and over and over again. Now, the person with the sat-nav is heading somewhere, he knows where they're going, someplace warm where there's plenty of food, but he's the leader. But they do take their turns. It's very important to realise that. Simon touched on it earlier. Sometimes you just have to shut up, sit back, listen, take in everything, soak up all the information, and then work on it. But we keep going. I need longer arms. So, again, sorry Simon, stole this off your website as well. I'm not very good at Scrabble, but anyway, I found this one. Leadership has teams, but they need to be motivated and have success. But I've put a few buzzwords around it. We have the 6 buzzwords: vision, focus, drive, values. But I'm going to normally talk about communication and strategies, because in our organisation we work with limited resources, as I say, but we also have to use them so effectively. And we need to communicate all the time, no matter what the message is, good and bad. Because communication is one of the most powerful tools we have today. And it's integral. If you're leading in a company, you have a product to sell. Marketing is one of the biggest tools that you need to use. But you need to get effective marketing. You need to understand when it's time to communicate. If you don't have a product that's 100% ready, you're not going to launch that unless you see an opportunity to try and launch it, but it might go wrong. You will plan and you will create a strategy around your product. I'm the same in the charity. We do exactly the same. Those who work with me do hopefully something similar. We're all aligned. So strategy comes with a plan of action. I rarely take risks. I always take some risk, but I don't take them unless I'm kind of prepared for a risk. That's one of the biggest things that I have to do, is be prepared. And we will always, this man here, this lunatic who we all know as Roy Keane. I used to play football with this guy in Cork years ago, but we were only 8 and 9, so it didn't really matter. He didn't intimidate me there, but he had a very good motto. You know, fail to prepare, prepare to fail. Very, very simple. In every part of your leadership life, your daily lives, everything. People who have kids, people who have nieces and nephews, you know, your own parents. Everyone has to plan. You have to plan your day somehow. And it's the same in your working environment and your social environment. You have to plan. You have to be prepared for every single part of your day. So, as I say, you have to be prepared to take risks, but I think it's always best to take a calculated risk. And it's best, you know, there is always a reward when you take a risk. You know, there's no point in doing something unless you're going to get a reward. If you're in the business world, I work in a global LNG business, liquid natural gas, and we go to some of the most inhospitable places in the world. That's the risk going, but we're doing it for business to earn money, who pays my salary so I can then run my charity. That's the only reason I do it, otherwise I'd stay at home. But you have to be able to calculate a risk. And calculated risk is a very, very integral part of leadership. know when to act, know how to deal with it. Because you could get caught out. But when you're prepared, you can deal with unexpected risk a little bit better. Sometimes you get a surprise, and normally from your own teammates actually. This is a very funny picture I found, bomb disposal. He's done everything. He's made a decision, he's led, they've done all the checks, everything's done. And then his friend, your teammates can drop you in it as well. But when you're prepared, you can really deal with most situations. We have this day in, day out with families. We could be launching a new product in the next 6 months, which I'm going to show you actually, because I'm advertising here as well today. But it's an opportunity, you have to take it. So you have to be prepared. We can get a phone call from a distressed parent, and I've had one last week from a mother outside Dublin who's just been told her 9-year-old daughter is going to die in 2.5 years. So that throws a big spanner into your works. Now, I have the same thing because I had to go through this myself once, and I have to do it again. So, and that's why I'm going to talk about communication. This is our only child remaining, Liam. This is why I'll always say that communication is one of the key things that we have to do, and you can do it in many ways, but I also think that you have your emails, your Twitters and Facebook, but face to face and verbally on the phone or something, communication with your team, with your clients, with your customers, especially if you're selling something to the general public, and we're trying to sell goodwill, we're trying to sell a sense of purpose. So communication is vital. This was 3 hours before my son, he was 2 at the time, he's a big 2-year-old, but he was 6 hours before he went for brain surgery. They drilled 6 holes in his skull and they went into his brain in 12 locations. In a hospital, no phones, nothing. And I had built up a bit of a following in Ireland in the media because we were obviously trying to save kids, not just Liam, but other kids as well. And I used Twitter and Facebook to tweet to the world. But it can be successful. We kind of half knew that we had a listening audience because we were engaging with our followers all the time. Little did we know that the next day in 68 articles across all Irish media and media in the UK and the States, even the fellow with the long hair in New York, I've been on a show twice, the DJ, Howard Stern, yeah, Howard, he picked it up. It was amazing. So that was an opportunity. But that was May 3rd last year. And as I said, we do recruit teams, and if you want one of the jerseys, we sell them online. But one of the most important things we find is that when we engage with anyone, we recruited all these people through social engagement. We've now built up a team, but our team only becomes effective when we know how valuable they really are to us, know everyone's strengths and weaknesses. I do this with anyone who comes in to help. One of the first things I do when I meet a new person, I'll say, I don't know how you can help me. And they look at me and say, how can I help you? So we've already started a conversation. I'm getting them. People want to help. People want to do good. And it's the same in business life. I find the same with my colleagues, whether they're in the Singapore office or the Beijing office, it doesn't matter. We all communicate together. We team build all the time. We know everyone's strengths and weaknesses so that when we go out and face the public, we face in a united way. We do bicker and argue behind closed doors, but I'm well aware of my own failings. I know my own weaknesses, but I know my own strengths, and I use them to the benefit of in professional life for the company, in social life for the charity. So we're always recruiting, and teamwork is one of the biggest things you can actually do effectively as a leader. This is James. James is fantastic. I really like this guy. We set out a challenge. James wouldn't even drive past Farm 4 Airport in Kerry. He was afraid of planes. 3 days later, and this is actually true, James, he joined 77 other people and jumped out of one. But what that done, I didn't ask him to do this. He says, we're going to do it. And he went around and he just recruited other people and brought them all in. What he done was that he went out and sold the product. He went out with a plan. Like you all have a plan. You know, your plan, as I say, everyday life. He was prepared. He went out, made a conscious decision. He made his own strategies. He developed his own strategies, he went out, he communicated with people, told them what he was doing, they wanted. He really done a proper thing, then he led the way. Literally, he's the first one coming down, but he was the first one out of the plane. We couldn't keep him in the plane, he actually went up twice. That's good. You know, you have to use the benefits. Because, like I say, we get surprises all the time. Integrity and telling the truth and being honest and open with your team and in our situation, the general public, is very, very important to us. So but we have to be prepared for whose child is next in our situation now. Our charity does engage with the global. We're not the experts. We know we're not the experts, so we take a calculated approach in finding where the expertise is and then asking them to come and help us. And that's why we started the Batten Disease International Alliance. We now have, our charity started in March 31st, 2010. It's not that long ago, it seems like forever. But we now operate in, I think, 52 countries. Not ourselves, but we bring the Batten disease community together. And it's all because our plans and our strategies and the vision and the drive, personal drive by myself. But there's Tony Heffernan in Ireland, there's a Gary O'Connor in Offaly, he's got a child with Batten disease. I have Aidan O'Connor's mother, not related, in Cork. She stands up, she fights, she goes out, she's fighting, she's leading every day, she's trying to get the best for her child, the best services for her child. So there's leaders everywhere. Everyone's a leader, as Mary touched on. You're all leaders in your own way. But if you want to develop your leadership skills, then you have to kind of look around and see what you need to get done to get there. Take in, learn from your mistakes, and drive on. And I think drive is very, very important, but integrity and honesty are very, very important too. So, like I said earlier, when you have a strategy and you have an audience, you have to take advantage of it. So I'm doing that right now. So I'm telling you what I think you should do for leadership. This is one of our new projects for the new year. Some of you might have heard of it. We announced it on the Late Late Show not so long ago. Liam's Lodge, I said I was going to pursue it. Now I've got a piece of ground, I'm going to dig a big hole and build a house in the shape of a dinosaur. So we will be always looking for people, and if anyone ever wants to put on a pair of boots and not dig a hole, you're welcome. And this is my most exciting new project for all the kids, if anyone's here with children. This is launching in the new year. So you are actually the first people outside of our organisation to get a sneak preview. Please don't put it on Twitter yet. But anyway, we don't have the website ready. We just ordered this. Very proud. But this is the reward of working and setting new goals and challenges to ourselves. We haven't cured Batten disease, but we want to do more. So we set new goals, new strategies. We really want to make a difference. So when you see this on the road, you might give us a wave. And that's it from me.